welcome back to Jamieson's Repair Shop. Back on the Thunderbird again on the seat pedestal. This will be part 3 of the seat pedestal job. Hope everyone's doing well. Cold again here today in Saskatchewan. Where I live, it was minus 27 last night Celsius. Warmed up a bit now, it's in the afternoon. It's around 20 below right now, 19, 20 below. Still cold, but it's sunny. And the wind isn't up, so that's nice. Anyway, as you saw before, I did the frame rails. I still need to put some primer on them. I did the back ends of the frame rails where the seats go on. So when I started working on laying out more of the floor pan for underneath the seat pedestal. So I'm going to spin you around and I'll show you what I've been doing. I'm going to make a template with it because then I can just flip it over and it'll be exactly the same for the other side. So that's what the plan is. So let's go take a look. Alright, you saw me take this piece off the frame rail on the passenger side. So this section here is the passenger side. It just needs to be flipped over, and this is the front side on the passenger side. On the inner near the tunnel, as you can see, this is where the drive shaft tunnel is, the tail shaft for the transmission. And then here's the set of bolt holes here for the outer part for the seat pedestal. And you can see these spot welds are the ones I took out to get this section off the frame rail. So that's why I was trying to go gentle on it, because I wanted to save it for this purpose alone. So the idea is, you can see where I marked it out in soapstone. Those are the places that need work done. So if I can make a template for this, and then I can just flip the template over, and it can do the other side with it. So I'm going to grab some paper, to get some body paper, and I'll just trace this all out, put the lines on to what I think needs to be there. This here, now I had to work this with the hammer a little bit to put this line in, but I think because over here underneath the outer structure of the car, it is flat. So I think this just tapers off to flat. So this would be the flat part here, and this would come up to meet it underneath this rail right here. You can see where the top part of it was both spot welded on. So let me get some paper, and I'll trace this all out. And I'm going to use the holes as locators because they'll always be in a fixed position. I will flip it over before I start to make sure that those holes are both the same on each side if I flip it over. So let me get a piece of paper and I'll get that done and we'll get back at her. Now there it is, I flipped it over and the holes are the same on both sides. So all 4 holes will align in the seat pedestals on these standoffs. So that's good. There's no flanges on this or anything, but I'm going to leave quite a bit of metal on each side. So we'll put her back where it was. Flip it back over like so. And align it back up with the holes. And I don't even really need it on there now because I have the outline of what I need. The flanges still need to come out like this on this seat pedestal, so they need to be fixed up in a couple places. And that's what it is. And then I will fit all this in like this and fit it on here to make sure it's going to fit the car. So if it fits this, it'll fit the car. So this is really my, we'll call it the buck now. So it'll be my not forming, but it'll be my testing to make sure the bends are right. Because when I took this off, this was flush right along. So I need to come up to about here. And I need about this much overhang on each side for both right and left sides with that pattern in it. So, like I said, I'll grab some paper and we'll get at her. There she is. I laid it out. I gave some overhang to get to the front and back of the floor pan, to continue right from the front to the back, I should say. I gave lots of extra. I measured it. That's enough to go up to that curl. If not, I'll add some, but I'm pretty sure I measured enough. And this is just a little bit more than it needs to be to the pinch weld from the seat hole line. So that's enough. This area here, I'm going to bead roll. Not bead roll, but I'm going to use my bead roller with the step die on it. And this, I think, I'm just going to cut it right out. And then I can bend this and then bend that and get that the way it needs to be. If I cut this out, then I can weld the pieces back in. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I had thoughts originally about cutting this out and just folding it and bringing it up, or whatever direct, yeah, up it has to come, and then just welding in fillers. But that doesn't give me a lot of practice on the bead on the English wheel or bead roller. So what I'm going to do, same here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to run it through the bead roller. First, I'm going to drill some holes, the 1/8 holes there, so I can keep coming back to the same place with this template. And that'll be in the center of these seat bolt holes. But yeah, I think it's the best thing for me is to try to raise this with the English wheel. The best I can. And worst case scenario is I cut it out and weld it in, but I want to try it. So let's get set up to do that. This is what it needs to look like. I got a template, so hey, why not do it? All right, first thing first, let's get this piece of steel out of here. Make sure I have room to cut. There she is. There, I got that steel released. There she is. Now, get the English wheel dug out, and it'll go on the English wheel. I got a piece of leather and I got my heavy steel bench out here, and I'm just trying to put a line in along the perimeter of this piece here for the seat pedestal. It's not going to be pretty for a while. So I'm just following the lines along and giving it some relief. So it's starting to shape up there now. A lot of work yet has to be done. All right, still at it. This out of the way. So I flipped it over. Hard to see, probably the light coming in the window, and I just did the outline of the, this is all rough stuff right now. So I'm just getting the outline in place the best I can. sort of like that. But remember, this all has to step down, so I'm going to have to start soon putting in the bends to bring this metal down. But for now, I'm just trying to form this look. And I think I have it pretty close to high enough. But now this metal is too high, so I have to bring it down. So what I'm going to do, sorry, get in there. Hope you can see all that. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to run this through the bead roller over here. And then I'll run with I'll use the stepping die for that. And then I'm going to put some lines in. And I'll use my roller skate wheel and a die just to mark it. And then flip it over and mark it again. So we start bringing this down. Anyway, it's ugly right now, but it'll come. Hang in there. You can already see how nice that's fitting down inside there. Right in like that. I'm just going to mark it while I'm here. And I'm going to mark the other side over there. This is just rough stuff still. But that's coming along pretty good so far, just for a few, probably about 10 or 15 minutes worth of work. There, let me go over and mark this side over here. And now I'm just marking where I need to, for the stepper die has to go. And I have marks on both sides because I'll be flipping this over. All right. And anything that goes too much, I'll just hammer it back out. And if it's not enough, I'll put more in. And I've got it lined up. See, those holes are lined up again. That's the great thing about putting alignment holes in. All right, let me get at her. Line up these holes in the template with the holes I drilled in the steel. Put one of my push pins on. If you don't have these push pins and you're doing this work, I highly recommend to get those. They're for metal whiteboards, and they work excellent for doing this work. So if you don't have any, you're going to plan on doing this stuff, go get yourself a set of these push pins. They're dirt cheap. I had them for a long time now, so I couldn't tell you what they cost. That's probably enough. So all I'm trying to do now is I'm going to put this line in. And then I have to put that line in. I'm going to do both sides because I'm going to have to tip one over. So let me get that done and then we'll go ahead. Oh yeah, and this has to be brought out. I forgot to, actually while I have the roller in, I'm going to bring that out right now. I'll put the lines on. The first thing I'll do before I change the dies is put this in. And then there's another one. This will be part of this one over here, and this one here will be part of this one. This will flatten down. All right, I'll get her done, and I'll show you. It's not perfect. Got a little flex in it, but stretching it sure made a difference. It's got a little flex in it. Probably straight, there it goes. And you can see this or not. See if it'll make it see it. Not bad there for flatness. It's a little high right there. I'm not going to worry about that. This will be bolted down tight. This is not too bad. It's a little high right there. That hole in it, but again, it'll all be bolted down tight. And that seat pedestal will be going right over top of it. So, not too terrible. Looks very original. I go over it with a sander, it'll look pretty darn good. So then, I have to put the curl on it over there to wrap the wrap. So it'll actually sit in the car like this. This is the passenger side, remember? So this is near the wheel. This indent is for the seat pedestal on the tunnel side, transmission tunnel side. So there needs to be a roll put in this way. So that's going to change this a little bit again too. And that roll isn't even because it's a more gradual roll on one side than the other, and I forget which one it is. One comes up sharper than the other. So I'm going to bring the seat pedestal back up and I'm going to see how it looks. Got her clamped onto the seat pedestal, bent around, kind of just forming it for now. It'll have to be welded in, of course, but it's okay. It's not perfect. She's a little rough in there. When I had to stretch it out a little further, got a little bit hairy on me, but she's down all the way around on what the flange is. Yeah, you can see better the not so pretty looking hammer marks, but that's all hidden. It's all one piece, no welds. So we're going to go with that. Let's see if I can set it in the car, see if we can get it in enough to have a look at it. Well, that's the best I can do for now, getting it in the car. It needs a lot of trimming. I made it quite a bit oversized. So, as you can tell, oh yeah, now that I got it locked down in there now. Get it down. As you can tell, it needs a lot of trimming here and then back there to fit down on the frame rails, which I've cleaned up and primed, so they're ready to go. So now I'll clean up some of the underneath, like I said, get this to the width it needs to be to fit in properly, and then start welding it in. And I got two of these to make, so I have to make another one of those. And I'll have to prime all this, any place it needs to be primed, like between the frame rail and that, and I actually have to draw it out once I get in there and put plug weld holes in it. So I want to weld it from the top down. But for now, that's her. There's one, the passenger side one made. So I'm going to go ahead and start and make the driver's side one. Hopefully I can do a little better job in that area and make it look a little bit neater. But again, this is all hidden. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, guys, get out of here. So yeah, so next video I'll have the other one made, and I might decide, I might see how it goes in first before I make the other one. I'll see. I'm going to think about it. So I'll either have the other one made and putting this one in, or I'll just have this one to put in. We'll see. Next video, we'll see what it is. It'll be a mystery. All right, everyone, have a great week, and take care, and we'll see you in the next one.